So, what's happened?
He was able to squeeze through the window in the bathroom, got out and fallen.
Okay.
So we found him on the third floor in some bushes.
Okay.
So he's limping.
Chris is back in Bondi, and one-year-old Spidey has been rushed into the clinic by Julia and her dad Roger after a shocking accident.
Apparently Roger was trying to catch Spidey, but Spidey saw a narrow opening in a door, made a run for it, and overbalanced on the windowsill and fell at least 9 metres. For any animal, that's a tough fall. The first thing I do with Spidey is look at his gum colour. That gives me a really clear idea about his circulation, whether he's in shock and whether he's losing blood.
He's just a little pale on that side. So what I'm doing at the moment is just assessing his vital signs. Okay. His heart rate, it's certainly up there. His breathing rate's very high too. I mean, he's breathing at more than 1 breath a second. It's almost like he's panting.
Spidey's elevated vital signs are serious cause for concern.
What the high heart rate, the high respiratory rate, and the pale gum colour is telling me is that Spidey is certainly in shock right now.
He's okay.
Shock can be incredibly dangerous. Essentially, the body overreacts and sends the blood away from the important parts like the lungs, the heart, and the other internal organs to the muscles, expecting that that animal has to make a run for it, when really, it's the worst possible situation.
The thing we're fighting at the moment is the fact that when they are in shock, all the blood essentially goes to their muscles, when really the parts of their body that need it are their essential organs like their lungs and heart.
At the Bondi clinic, one-year-old Spidey is in shock after falling 3 stories from a window ledge. Distressed owner Julia and her father Roger found the injured cat crying for help in the bushes below.
What I might do straight away is just give him something for the shock, just to relax him and also take away some of the pain.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look through all these legs here.
My immediate concerns, given the fact that Spidey has fallen at least 9 metres, is trauma. So either internal injuries or fractures to those legs.
Is that the one?
Yeah, it's certainly sore. His back right, he's really resenting me doing too much to that.
Do you think it's broken?
Look, it's certainly sore, but the only way to know for sure whether there is a fracture is with an X-ray.
But suddenly, Roger spots a distressing problem.
It's a little bit of blood.
Let's have a little look here. Of all the places where he's got blood,
Yeah, I know.
it's where a man doesn't want to have any sort of pain whatsoever. He almost looks like he has a little abrasion on the skin just around that area.
I'm thinking, because it was a fairly twiggy sort of bush.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario here, if a branch has penetrated into Spidey's abdominal cavity, it could have ruptured a blood vessel or punctured an important organ like the liver or the kidney. If that has happened, he could be bleeding internally.
I think if we x-ray just this back half of his body,
Yeah, I think so.
that way we'll know for sure. Okay, let's do that now.
If Spidey has suffered some sort of internal injury that's now bleeding into his abdominal cavity, then the clock is ticking. The simple fact is that a fracture won't kill Spidey, but internal bleeding might.
Roger and his anxious daughter Julia are praying for good news.
X-ray!
What I'm looking for is any loss of definition of these organs here. If I can't see them clearly, then it means there's fluid wrapped around those organs, which would be blood. In this case though, I can see a liver, I can see a kidney, I can see intestines, even a bladder here. So I can quite confidently say there's no bleeding happening around those organs. It's good news. I mean, even his spine here is looking in alignment. No fractures through these bones here. This little guy somehow managed to find a way to land, and land well. The bush may very well have saved his life.
So coming through here, I think we've been a little bit harsh on Spidey. He may actually be a Spider-Man.
Oh, so right.
There's no fractures
No
at all.
fracture and no brain.
No.
Little man.
Well done.
Well done.
So he is a lucky cat.
He's incredibly lucky. All right, so there's one more thing we need to do, just to clean him up before he goes home.
All right, okay.
And then you'll be on your way.
I think it's just amazing that he was so daring in the first place, falling 3 floors, and you would think, you know, any normal cat might have had, you know, at least a sprain, at least something to show for it. But no, Spidey Man, he definitely survived.
So guys, get you to hold him up there. Turns out the source of this blood on his belly isn't internal, it's external. It's coming from his penis. Of all places you get spiked by a tree, in Spidey's case, it was that place that is the most sensitive of all. If this is the worst thing that happens, it's not all bad, is it? Even though Spidey's a cat, the basic principles of first aid still apply. If you have swelling and inflammation, it's important to bring that down with something cold. Unfortunately for Spidey, it must feel like the worst possible treatment right now. Yeah, it's all in working order.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
That's a relief.
Fortunately for Spidey, the indignity is finally over and he can go home.
He will not be going outside. I'm going to be watching him like a hawk from now on to make sure that he is very much safe.
So I'm very happy for you guys that it's all worked out okay.
Thanks very much.
Okay. No problem at all.
All right.
Given the events of today, it's safe to say that Spidey won't be straying too far away from Julia. She's going to have this spider cat locked in her web for a long time to come, and he won't be going near any open windows.
You playful boy. Where's the Spidey? Where's the Spidey?
As for Spidey, the naughty cat which jumped from a 3rd-storey window, it seems he's finally learnt his lesson.
Spidey has been staying away from windows actually a fair bit lately. He's been hiding under a lot of furniture every time I open a window or open a door. So obviously he doesn't really want to have a repeat of last time.
Now can we get you running so we can show everyone how good your legs are?
Very lucky, definitely. Spidey might have lost one of his 9 lives, but he definitely pulled through and he's better than ever.
He's Spidey.
If you guys loved that video, great. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel below. That way.